in the environment. So again,
it's a regular activity.
A regular activity. I have only 2 slides more to explain the presentation, then we can discuss it. So I would the first is the environmental impact of interconnecting of rivers is to reduce the disaster of the flood, stop the soil erosion and water pollution. Economic loss due to live flood is eradicated. The loss of asset can be wiped out. The land pollution is reduced, and loss of crop and vegetation can be reduced to maximum. And definitely a lot of population is too badly being affected by flood, and problem of irrigation and cultivation can be solved very easily by transportation of water. And overall soil and water pollution can be reduced, and a lot of job opportunities also created. I would like to say that to maintain a free transport of water, a free flow of water, in every 3 kilometers, and near about 19 to 23 people are being engaged.
Okay.
So in a country like India, where the total tunneling process is near about 4,000 kilometers, so huge job of near about 1 lakh population is being from all categories, technical, non-technical, is being engaged. So a lot of local population, indigenous population will get empowerment through employment. So this was the impact, and this is technically very feasible, and it is a one-time investment. Generally, people say there is a huge investment is being needed, but definitely if with the interconnecting of river we can increase our agricultural practices. I have the data, near about 12 to 13% of our GDP. So every year if we are having our GDP near about 2.5 lakh crores, with 12 to 13%, that is near about 30,000 crore. Another 30,000 crore we are investing to mitigate the problem of flood in form of packages and everything. So a balance of 8 to 10 years what we are going to invest in future, and which is a non-productive element who have no significance after a certain time. So that can be done in an initial manner, and definitely a very minor maintenance cost is needed, which is needed for any industry. So experts of industrial engineering I have discussed with them, the near about cost is very low, it's a one-time investment.
Okay.
And definitely I would like to say, about 10 years back, my friend, the problem of transportation of petroleum was so high due to traffic jams because it was done with movement of trucks. Now the whole India is being pipelined for the fuel and petroleum. So there is no problem of transportation of fuel. So if we can make a permanent channel for fuel transportation, then definitely we can make a permanent channel for water transportation. And this time is a form of water conservation taps also for conservating water, and definitely the rainwater, the monsoon water, and definitely there is one term emerging now or have emerged in a young age, that rainwater harvesting. So definitely the rainwater harvesting, the major problem for the rainwater harvesting is the rainwater conservation. We don't have the ample stockpile to conserve this water. But definitely we can again connect the channels to collect the rainwater for conservation here. So this was the impact of interconnecting of rivers, and definitely it is a technologically and economically feasible process, and we can move ahead at this. The basic and the final point which I would like to elaborate, there are many social organizations who are correct on their point, that there will be a lot of problem of rehabilitation when these rivers are being interlinked. But definitely when it is going the underground, the tunnels, I think it is a zero rehabilitation process, because whatever has to be done under the ground. So the local population, because major population resides near the water belt, so they will not be damaged, they will not be touched. And these people who used to reside near rivers definitely are the 70% population of India, that is the rural India. So these people will only give the rural empowerment and the job opportunities in those areas. So this is a very feasible possible policy, and that can be technologically feasible. So this was the impact of interconnecting of rivers. If any more thing I can elaborate.
So you are all for it?
Yes.
Okay, and you said that it will provide lot of benefits in addition to providing a balanced water supply.
Yes.
Also, it can be, it gives vocation to the people in maintaining and
Yes.
constructing such linkages. And also, some fisheries you were mentioning, people are in Sri Lanka particularly, they are...
Yes, there are certain fishes which are for herbal and medicinal use, and they are very small size fishes. The cod liver of the fishes are being used for medicinal purposes. So these tunnels are being used as a channel to nurture these fishes, and definitely that reduces the overall health maintenance cost of the industry, because there are certain, I would like to take the name of the medicine. There is a medicine called sea cod, that is a 7-horse. So that is made from those type of special fishes and sea lives, and definitely these are very costly elements, but necessary elements of vitamins and proteins for, especially for young children, conceived ladies, newborn child, and these are not being available to these people and this population due to its high cost. So definitely tunneling can reduce the source of the high cost.
So it can be a kind of an industry.
Industry also.
And also would provide, fulfill the requirements for the raw material for providing this kind of nutraceuticals.
Yes.
In a way.
In a way.
So I think this is very, very advantageous, and it is working well in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, it is working very well in Sri Lanka. They have almost connected a maximum number of their rivers, and one thing I would like to state about Sri Lanka, it's a beautiful country. It's they all surrounded by the sea, but still they do not face the drinking water crisis. Okay. Our honorable PM also said that many times there are drinking water crisis in the rural areas. But even though they are having limited number of rivers, they are not facing the drinking water crisis, as well as they are depending for 83% of their energy on hydel electricity.
Okay.
So as there was a plan, ma'am initially told that to make about 80 hydel dams. I would like to add, ma'am, to you that if the level of the water in the hydel dams decrease, definitely the production of electricity decrease, because it affects the direct movement of the turbines of the hydel power plant. So in that situation, we can stop the diversion for making the hydel level a bit high, and we can regulate it. It's a few years back, or almost 30 years back, if someone would have said to our generation, our senior generation, that LPG is a common thing to use, then there was a chows and everything that LPG will blast and so on. Now we command it through valve and so on.
In modern, you have that LPG through pipelines
now pipelines to house. In next few certain time, there is a time when separate gasoline pipes for cooking of foods and other pipelines for heaters are being introduced in modern constructions. And definitely this and one thing what I have felt about the flood, because I belong to Singrauli, Madhya Pradesh, and a lot of time has been in Dhanbad. The coal mines, man, were in Dhanbad. The monsoon of water dams the coal mines, and many times it breaks the boundaries of underground mines, and it creates so disaster that even the dead bodies of those brave people are not being found from last 20 years.
Okay, that is sad.
So, and river Damodar is a very big river just surrounding Dhanbad, and Dhanbad many times is, not many times, almost 8 months a year is facing drinking water crisis. So definitely if this project can be implemented at national scale, there could be no risk to mines, no risk to underground mines, no risk to water diversion or overflow, or there may not be any drinking water crisis. And whole of the Jharkhand, Upper Odisha and this plateau of Maharashtra and Vidarbha is facing a huge drought. Droughts from many decades. There are certain villages who have seen rainfall about 20 years back. Their wells are being drained off, and we can see the well from which we take water can be a pillar, just like a metro station that can be a pillar to transport water. It's already been provided with us. If we change a metro station for a train, definitely we can divert
some kind of provisions can be made, engineering provisions, so that you can make choices, and funds can be
provided. And from the wells only we can get a good amount of water for irrigation in the different fields, because wells are everywhere anywhere in villages of India. And this project is going directly to affect 100% of the population. Either it's New Delhi or Dhanbad or Singrauli or Andhra. Anywhere, everywhere I find a lot of water crisis. Drinking water level has shortened down. Many times there is crisis. So definitely, and rainwater conservation, a separate channel. One of my friend suggested me, an industrial engineer, Shailendra Shuman, he was my batchmate. He told me if this thing can be done, definitely a separate channel to collect rainwater conservation can be done, and there could be a small internal pipeline could be made to these big pipelines.
Okay.
So flood water and rainwater could be separated, because rainwater is a pure form of water, either for agriculture or for drinking. So, and definitely I would like to comment the consumer psychology of a market customer. There are certain water purifiers like RO, Liver Pure, Aquaguard. So every year we Indians used to invest almost 45,000 crore rupees to procure these machineries, and this is a perpetual chart. Every year we are procuring. So if we can get fresh and pure water through transportation lines, but for the same source is needed. So we can create source also for the same. So if any more...
are there other places also where interconnecting of rivers is being in other countries also?
Yes.
Which can be cited as examples?
Yes, in US, in Philadelphia,
okay.
In US, because Philadelphia is very near to the sea, US, Philadelphia, California, and many small areas also. And in US, these forms of projects are being taken as a part of disaster management.
Okay.
These are not the work of irrigation or agriculture, because I would like to state that
disaster is a priority.
Yes, there is a lot of disaster, especially due to floods in the US, but we never used to find that more than 2-3 house displacements are there. They report timely, people away timely, they evacuate the area, and in 5 or 10 years you will see a casual person have lost his life. I don't think so in last 10 years even 10 people have lost their life. It's a thing to be appreciated. So it's a part of disaster management in the US. But definitely there are certain things I would like to say, because our country is an agriculture based country, and as Ministry of Atomic Energy or Ministry of Space is directly under our PM, definitely this thing must be directly under our PM, because this is backbone for agriculture, this is backbone for life, and this is backbone for everything. A single day water supply cut or a single day flood makes whole of our day-to-day movement blocked. I was in Jaipur in my university, NIMS University, and I was bounded that I can't go anywhere in the city, because no one would have expected ever.
There will be floods in
Jaipur.
So this is what precisely was going to be my second question.
Yes.
Is still there some time?
Yes.
Like in the times of climate change, when everything is so unexpected,
yes,
unprecedented,
yes,
like places which are traditionally known to be flooded,
okay,
and places which are known to be drought prone,
okay,
year after year,
okay,
but now we find everything getting reversed.
Yes,
like in Jaipur you find floods,
yes,
and in Assam, which is supposed to be flooded
yes,
area, mostly in the monsoon season, you find drought-like situation. So how such a project will be viable? Because you make so much investment,
okay,
so you lay out the whole network,
okay,
and then there is no rain over there.
Okay.
I mean, it is all dry, all your pipes remain, and here there is so much water, the pipelines to take water from Jaipur
okay,
are so small, they can't even drain it.
Okay.
So we need to be prepared for this climate change. This is one very important issue that is being discussed and debated about this project, because nowadays you just can't bank upon anything. I mean, anything can, and you know that rivers have their own path,
yes,
and also there are certain rivers, they keep on shifting.
yes,
Sea of Bihar, उसका कितना path बदलता ही रहता है. वो बिल्कुल सेम नहीं है, तो आप इसको ये problems को कैसे address करेंगे? So that's really a very important issue.
So, ma'am, I would like to say the basic path of a river never changes, and it changes up to 30%.
But still, I mean, if you have laid down those particular, either you must have some provisions that if it goes, so it must accommodate that. Some engineering mechanism must be there.
But this uncertainty is not in the other successful implementation of this policy. And definitely meteorological survey must be done for next 20 years, because if today we are making a break to the speed of the environmental harnessing what is going on, then after 20 years we can get the good result. You are absolutely correct that we can't predict anything. Last year I was surprised to know in certain Madurai region of Tamil Nadu there were some snow drops were fall, and South India have no winter. So definitely there are certain Bagmati river is in Bihar again after Kosi. So you are correct, absolute policy, because if we implement a pipeline and then the river changes, we can't change the pipeline.
Exactly, we have to think of such things, because these are really happening in front of us. So when we are taking such choices, so we need to keep scope for them as well.
Yes, on basis of what I suggest, on basis of every district there must be pipelines, so that drought and flood can be controlled, as well as the need of amount of water can be transported easily to the districts. Because if we are ignoring a certain particular district, then definitely we are unable to transport water for agriculture or irrigation, which is almost required in almost all districts. So this can be one solution, and next time I will try to add this thing, that whether for fluctuating rivers, because it fluctuates more than a share market.
You are very right, and it is time to round up the session. And also you said that besides interlinking, in one of the discussions the point came up in Sri Lanka, they are also using the water differentially. It is not that one link is providing for all their needs. Like they are recycling the water. They are different,
Definitely. There are three forms of water: normal uses water, drinking water, and grey water. Drinking water is the water which we used to consume generally from our filters, and other uses water as well, water for our bathing, our dishwashing, and third is for sanitation. So there is a separate cycling process I have found in many of the constructions and colonies of Sri Lanka, and that has reduced the cost, as well as that has proven a good health indicator, because overall processing of water in a sewage plant, it is very costly and very time taking. So they regulate three separate channels that we can accept as a part of environmental care. We can accept to have separate channels of water.
So whatever the discussion we had now from your Sri Lanka experience, and also following the debates going on around us, I think we can conclude that we should not straight away shelve and say no, it is a bad idea. So I mean in Sri Lanka it is working very well, especially the interconnecting and the rivers, and they have made provision to use water differentially. There only one supply is not used. And on the other hand, we are also open to the realities which are in front of us. That is the reality of climate change, the rivers changing their paths. So, and the concern of the people, and that is also true, that biodiversity will be affected. A kind of plants, flora and fauna in a particular river, there are particular conditions when the water is transported to other area, so those conditions change, and the organisms also flow along with that water, and they suffer a lot of shock, and their population decreases over a period of time. So I think if we make a detailed investigation, study all the terrain, and take care of all the consideration, all the points, any idea can be pursued to the benefit of the society. So with this we conclude that let us follow the debates and have a positive outlook, and use our engineering knowledge and do betterment for the society. So thank you very much, Abhinav, for coming to the session and sharing with us your insights about this interlinking, and I feel truly it can become sustainable. So now we wind up this session at this very point, take a break of 15 minutes and come back again at 1 p.m. Thank you for joining us.